Phase 5 is coming, and with that comes Blackwing, Lair, and SoD Gorob. They will be the raids, and unless you wanna be the one guy that cannot boom boom the bosses, you better get your boom boom sorted out, because otherwise you are going to die to them. So I figured I make a little list of what you should be doing right now to get ready for it, and there is quite a few things you gotta do. Number 1, of course, is getting attuned. I actually forgot to do it too, so I'm gonna have to do it on stream. Probably in a couple days we're gonna do that. But there's this guy on the hallway that's right out the entrance of Uber's. Ignore this map, it's actually wrong. You go to the entrance of Uber's and you turn right, and he's gonna be right there. You gotta kill him, loot an item from him that's gonna give you a quest. And all you gotta do then is clear Uber's once, and you're gonna get to right click an orb at the end behind Drakisat, and that's pretty much it. That's the end. You can even buy, I am sure there's gonna be somebody out there selling IDs for Ubers even, so you can do that too. But you should probably get this done sooner rather than later, because people are gonna not be running Ubers as much in a couple days. You can still, at least in the major servers, actually, you know what, that could be a great idea to wait for the mergers, which are gonna happen the 17th. I already forgot. It should happen pretty soon. Maybe when all the servers merge, you're gonna have an easier time getting in a dungeon for it. There is not a lot of people that still run it unless you're in a major server, but yeah, you just go do Ubers, and that's pretty much it. Getting the attunement out of the way, the next thing you gotta work on is the Onyxia scale cloak. I am told the black affix is gonna make it so some bosses will require you to wear it, but otherwise you still gotta wear it for fire mode. Fire mode will kill you if you do not have this cloak, so you still gotta get it if you wanna clear BWL. Of course, this is just a BOE and you can get it for really cheap. I got mine for 50 gold. I do not know what is up now in the auction house, but it is really cheap. You make it by grabbing a crappy green cloak and a couple clothes, and then you gotta skin Onyxia. I think Onyxia gives you like a couple of these every time you skin her. Usually you get 2 or 3 scales every time you kill Onyxia, so it shouldn't be... It's really not expensive at all. You don't really have to make it if you don't wanna. Anybody can make it at this point. But yes, that's definitely gonna be the number 2 thing you gotta do. You really gotta get the Onyxia cloak or you can't go. Little reminder for all the raid leaders, people that wanna host their own pogs, and I am gonna have to do this too, and that really annoys me because I'm gonna be doing a chat raid now. Might as well tell you that I'm gonna get one of my characters every week, and we're gonna do a raid with the stream now. I like doing that on the PTR, so we're gonna do it again. And I'm gonna have to check individually every person I get in. It's gonna be a 20 man, by the way, so it's still annoying. I'm gonna have to make sure that everybody has it before we go. And if you are gonna run a BWL pog on the first week or so, you're gonna have to do the same. So keep an eye on it. People are gonna show up without it and you're gonna wipe. It happens so many times in private servers. The next thing you wanna do is get your 6-piece tier 1, because they made this new mechanic when you can get your tier 2 set and you can make it have the tier 1 set bonuses. Now, we do not exactly know how that's gonna work out. We do not know how you go from Draconic to Coreforged. It's probably gonna be some sort of token system or enchant or something like that. But as you can see by the wording, it says Felheart right here. This is the Warlock as an example. It says Felheart. Felheart is tier 1. So that means that this set will mix and match with tier 1, and depending on how you're able to swap between tier sets or not, if you're able to take the same piece that you already have and turn it from Draconic to Coreforged, that will. The meta will definitely be to get Coreforged first so you can preserve your set bonuses and then work on your tier 2, but either case we do not know yet, but that's definitely something you want to keep an eye on. And you definitely, I mean, you should get your 6-piece anyway. I mean, like, do you want to show up naked to Molten Core? Do you want to show up in Nomeregan gear to Molten Core, you weirdo? Speaking of other things you want to do, you really want to get proper enchants on your gear. As you guys know, heat is a mechanic in Molten Core that is not gonna be present in Blackwing Lair. They got rid of it. Don't get me wrong, there is plenty of value in fire resistance in Blackwing Lair if you want to have it for free. There is constant fire damage on Belstras. There is constant, depending on the affixes, you're gonna take more fire damage. Nefarian does fire damage. Firemo is in the name. He does fire damage. Ebon Rock does fire damage. Almost every boss in Blackwing Lair does some amount of fire damage, but you're not gonna need to stack fire resistance anymore, and you should replace all your enchants. Your cloak, your head, your legs, they should become actual DPS or healing or tanking or whatever stats. And that kind of brings me to another point of something you really want to do. If you're a DPSer or even a tank actually, get a Libram of Voracity or 2, because these things are nearly worthless now, but they will really rise up in value as soon as the phase drops and people stop doing Molten Core. Or, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do about Molten Core. People are still gonna gonna need the resistance, but people are gonna want this enchant, okay? The Libram of Voracity is the one with agility, and it is best in slot for pretty much every melee, for hunters too. This thing is gonna soar in value, so it's gonna go from damn near worthless to really expensive. I mean, even if you're not like a market speculator, even if you don't wanna make stonks, just future-proof yourself, get a couple of these for you, for yourself later, so you're not gonna beat yourself in the head for... That's what happened with me on the Librams of Resilience. I forgot to buy them before Phase 4 came out, and then they went to like 100 gold, and as soon as I saw them go to 100 gold, I wanted to Persona 3 myself. The next thing you wanna work on is the consumables. There are a couple that are gonna go up in price. You're still gonna need fire protection potions for a lot of the bosses in Blackwing Lair, but one that is gonna definitely spike is the shadow protection potions. The reason for that is, first of all, the black affix. Once again, most of the mechanics on that is Nefarian doing shadow damage to you in every other boss fight. There is plenty of shadow damage in BWL anyway, and that also means that Dream Foil is going to spike on value. So once again, the market speculators out there, if you want to speculate on something, Dream Foil is going to be the way to go. Dream Foil is usually a very safe investment. It always tends to go up in value over time, but it will definitely spike on the progression weeks of BWL. That's definitely the case. Of course, you're still going to need all consumables, you're still going to need fire protection, and you're definitely going to need stone shields. I simply do not think it's possible for a tanking warrior to survive the Nefarian class call. Druid tanks are also going to have a really hard time. Or you could just roll a shaman, because what hardship will a shaman have to face? Are they going to ever have to work for something to get in the game? Are they going to ever have some sort of weakness or challenge? No, because they are shamans. We will never allow shamans to be bad. We are all shamans. You are shaman. Soon the world will become shaman. Another thing you want to worry about is that there is going to be a green affix, and the green affix is going to give you poisons. And if you are Horde, once again, shamans are broken, you just drop a totem and that mechanic is gone. If you are Alliance, welcome to getting screwed. You should be used to it by now. I mean, it's only been that way for a year. In that case, you are gonna need the Corsen jungle remedies, or simple antidotes from first aid, whatever you wanna get. Also, of course, the Dwarven Racial is gonna help, I guess, but anything that will get rid of a poison is gonna be really important for you, because that's gonna save the healer's mana, and that's usually a problem in most of the fights in Blackwing Lair anyway. Next thing in the list for you guys, it is going to be the Stratholm Holy Water. This is not as important as it used to be for two reasons. First of all, we got a lot of AoE now. Almost every class has a decent AoE nowadays in SoD. And the second, and I think this is the big one, the reason that you need this Holy Water is because the third phase of Nefarian, I'm gonna drop some footage of it, you are gonna see how they die in like a global. He is going to summon a bunch of bone constructs. Those are the skeleton boys, you know, the guys that work like this, that are super funny. Everybody loves them from Cataclysm too. Keep in mind, in the PTR we also use our sappers because you get free sappers, but if you don't want to get engineering, I guess sappers are a decent alternative, of course. The Holy Water is definitely the best way to nuke all the ads really fast, and even if they are not a threat to you anymore because we got so much CC and AoE nowadays, getting that clean one-shot is gonna make it so you can spend all that time that you would have spent killing them just killing Nefarian, so it's still a very important tank, and they are damn near worthless anyway. Just go to Stratholm, you gotta go to Stratholm for the rep anyway, you're gonna need to farm that rep eventually. The constructs were pretty undertuned in the PTR, if I gotta be honest. I would be surprised if they do not give them some sort of buff eventually, at least to their HP. I really do think that they do not have enough HP. Like, I am convinced they got like the old HP from vanilla and we're doing like 4 times the damage. It just doesn't make any sense. I would be very surprised if looking at the PTR numbers they do not tune it up a little, but even if they don't, get the Holy Water, it helps a lot. And finally, the last thing I wanna touch on is that you gotta get ready to craft that Thunderfury. If you're one of those lucky bastards that got their gosh darn bindings, because I have seen 4 sulfurous bindings and I have yet to see a single Thunderfury binding drop, that's just my luck, but you are gonna need 10 Elementium bars, they drop from Blackwing Lair, and you are gonna need an Essence of the Fire Lord, which is also a rare drop from Ragnaros, because this questline is pretty damn impossible, I swear. But you can get all the materials to get ready on day 1, and we're gonna see people day 1 doing all the craft for it, and that's gonna be really awesome. Apparently they are gonna put Thunderan in a dungeon. I am not sure about that, that's just speculation. It would be a shame if we cannot kite Thunderan to Orgrimmar, that would be really funny. And what are you doing to get ready for Blackwing Lair? Because if you can tell me what you're doing so I can steal your ideas and get readier than you, I will beat you to your own game, how about that? We're gonna be doing raids with the community all of Phase 5, so you wanna join the Discord for that? You better get ready to join the Discord and subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.